What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Gabe here, and we're here with finally another Power Ranger. Is another history of a Power Ranger fan series that I came up with there. And duly note, just want to make that known. I'm not the original creator of Power Rangers. I'm not Hama Saban. I'm not Hasbro or Disney or whatever company that they're affiliated with right now, or even its original source material, Super Sentai. None of those there. This is, like I say, this is the history of a fan series, not something that's officially published. So yeah, a lot of people do make fan series of different things that they like. Sort of henceforth the term. Like fan fiction, sometimes fan arts. Yeah, a lot of us do that when we're a fan of something. So yeah, just making that clear. Like I say, I think I mentioned in a previous video, that was definitely a suggestion from my big sis Casey. Appreciate the advice there. Which, like I say, definitely. Yeah, sort of like people mention that, with the whole fair use of reviews and stuff. So yeah, yep. So yeah, it's a history of a fan series. but just in case, if you're interested in talking about it, Linkar, you definitely could do it. Okay. Anyway, let's, before we get into the video, let's take a moment. If you say after you heard and everything, like, share, subscribe. Super thanks to any of the videos. Also, make sure you definitely get one of my available comic books, as well as also Yumiko Novel 1. Probably should mention this. I'll probably mention it a little bit later. Grant, this should be out before I actually mention it, because like I say, a lot of these videos be made ahead of time, and then I have some videos that I make like on my phone that sometimes pop up before these become, before I get these uploaded and stuff like that. That's on my laptop here. So just a heads up on that. Well, hey, you mentioned this here, and this is kind of out of order. Yeah, sort of like how certain episodes of TV shows sometimes seem like they're out of order. So, yeah, just a heads up. I am aware of that happening sometimes. So, yeah, that way, don't be too much of a panic there. But anyway, whether there's a video coming up before this one of it or after, I'm mentioning it here. I did order some more copies of Yumiko since, in a previous video I did mention that I had sold out of them. So yeah, I have ordered some more of those. So yeah, definitely get yourselves put in some orders for them. Maybe get a copy once they get here. It should be about a couple of weeks from now, so that they'll arrive. And I will be selling them to some people that I do know around here locally too. So. But yeah, you can still put your orders in for them. If I have to go get more, I will. Based upon your pre-orders. So that won't be an issue. Just letting you guys know. Yeah, definitely get y'all some of those. Also, definitely get yourself some of the other comic books as well, like Star Striker and Bubblina and all them. And also support us on that Patreon, just like your boy AJ the Supreme. Do that. And because this is the last week of May that this is being recorded, and probably a few other videos I'll be recording, yeah, definitely shout outs to Miss Phyllis Mother, as well as also Keon Smith with the chicken tenders and buffalo wings. Should have said buffalo wings first, but either way, I eat them all. And also, another good eat, King Turkey Legs and Wings. Hey, good old barbecue. Ain't no love like the King's love. Come on out here. King love everybody. And everybody love the king and his eats. Yep. And I tell you one thing, it's a lot better to go out to King's Barbecue than it is Stinky Burger in that episode of SpongeBob. Friend or foe, talking about Mr. Krabs and Plankton. Say a lot better than Stinky Burger. Yeah, because at least King got a better location for his little barbecue shack there. So yeah, at least he got a much better location there. And Keon, of course, with his chicken tenders and wings, is right there at Kroger Deli. So yeah, at least it's a good location and very well sanitized and extremely good sanitation. So so come on out to them. So you won't be disappointed. So let's dive. Oh yeah, and also definitely hit us up on even, and like I said, don't sign up Patreon. Also check out EJ Does Supreme and Casey's YouTube channels. And regardless whether you're on the Patreon or not, hey, you are more than welcome to definitely hit us up on that Discord, just to chat with us about stuff on this channel, as well as also the books, and maybe bring up a few other things, like hey, we're talking about Power Rangers here, so yeah, maybe even like, well, back in the day I imagined myself as this ranger or that ranger, stuff like that. So yeah, come on over, just hang out, chat and everything. Keep it family friendly though. And also hit up on that Mark Henry app. Get some of the stuff I got for sale there, and also put some stuff up that you want to sell. And hey, let me know when you get set up so I can see what you got to sell there. Maybe something I want to get. So you get from me, I get something from you. So that way, hey, we all help each other out there. And like I say, So let's dive right into the video. Yeah, all this kind of makes me have some long intros to these videos. Like Darkwing Duck say, I gotta have a shorter opening. So let's talk about. Let me silence my phone. I can still see it when it vibrates though, but that way. Speaking of that, I got that Darkwing Duck ringtone. I want to get copyright struck for this. Like a certain somebody tried to do to me for a previous video that got taken down from this channel. So, and like I say, there's a life lesson. Be careful who you hang out with. Sometimes, 'cause, yeah, not saying everybody, but some people will turn on you there. Some people will be like the Judas of your group and stab you in the back. Master, Judas. Yeah. Only sad thing about Judas, he could have got if only he didn't kill himself, he would have got he would have got forgiveness. Yeah, but he did not ask for forgiveness like Peter did, though. So it's a kind of a sad story with Judas there, but sometimes it's like that. So anyway, into the Power Rangers Mega Cards. Oh yeah. So yeah, all of my previous histories, we've talked about the different versions of Power Rangers Kroger Force, and version 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there was even a fifth one. Wasn't much to it, but there was a fifth one. So Gabe, did you do any other thing? Did you make up anything else with the Power Rangers besides at Kroger? And I'm tired of hearing about Kroger. I want to hear something else. So here we go. So actually, yeah, there were some little ideas that I came up with after Kroger Force, but before we go into the ones after, this Mega Card idea was an idea that came before all the Kroger Force versions. Pretty much, I think, kind of when I first started high school, before I even started obviously before I started working at Kroger, but kind of at some point in high school before I worked at Kroger. Yeah, so I came up with Power Rangers Mega Cards. I want to say it was kind of around the same time um, that they were going into Ninja Storm. They may have been kind of between Wild Force wrapping up and Ninja Storm, somewhere between those two. And by the way, those two are this, yeah, which I pretty much like a lot of the seasons of Power Rangers. Yeah, but Wild Force and Ninja Storm are definitely some good seasons. Yeah, to definitely check out there and bench watch. Might do that in the future. Um, so somewhere between the end of Wild Force and the beginning of Ninja Storm, somewhere within there, uh, Mega Cars was a thing. The funny thing of how I came up with that was I actually had Power Ranger Go Fish cards, um, which I don't have at the moment. I don't know what I did with those cards, but I do have Tweety. I think it may be all the Looney Tunes, but I do. But it's some Go Fish cards. I recall Tweety Bird is on the cover. So I got those Go Fish cards back here where I keep where I keep like my different board games and stuff like that Christina and I like to play. We have sometime like not every time that we have most every time that we say like we come home from work and we have a night like say if both of me and her were off, say on a Friday, for example, and after so that Thursday night we might depending on how we feel, we might decide to have what's called a game and vintage night, where we would pick out a game from in here, like Connect Four, Connect Four, or Scramble, or Monopoly, any of those like Uno, any of those games, or even this new game. I don't know if any of y'all ever got a hold of this, but they even have a skee ball game you can play at home, sort of like what you see at the arcades. And one particular game, we don't have this, but I used to have it. I definitely would like. I don't know what happened to it, but I definitely would like to get it back, especially to show Christina, because she had never heard of this game. But I used to play it a lot as a kid. Rebound, that required marbles and stuff like that. That would be a real good addition to game night, but game and vintage night. But we would, as we're playing the game, we would be in our living room. That's where we have the VCR/DVD player. That's the only area of the house that has a VCR. Yeah, it's a vintage VCR. And with VHSs, we would sometimes we'd pop in one of my VHSs while playing the game and experience an old vintage feel there. So that's the thing. Yeah, kind of didn't mean to go there, but I said it now. So anyway, with Mega Cards. So yeah, because I had Power Ranger Go Fish cards, I came up with this idea of Power Rangers using cards and stuff. And also, it wasn't just the Go Fish cards. It was also I think it was also after the Digimon Tamers series had kind of wrapped up. So I had been watching a lot of Digimon Tamers up to like when they came back in the real world with fighting the D Reaper and stuff like that. And it all Biomerged and stuff like that. But leading up to that, they did a lot of Digimodify, or as they say in the Japanese version, Card Slash. So a cross between that and the Go Fish cards gave me an idea. What if the Rangers were able to swipe cards to access, different various weapons of past Rangers? Like say the red Mega Card Ranger could access the Wild Force Saber, or maybe access the Power Sword from Mighty Morphin, or the Astro Axe from space. Any of the different past weapons that it previously been a thing. Yeah, so that was kind of the thing. And now, of course, this was in the early 2000s when I came up with this idea as a fan series. So I was not. So obviously, this was way before Super Mega Force came out, where even before the Sentai version of it, which was pirate themed. But in both versions, yeah, they were able to transform into other past Rangers, Legendary Ranger mode, and pretty much access all the powers that they had. And in some cases, I think like new Zord configurations combined with these previous Rangers. Not like I say, I probably would have to. I know some people don't speak too highly of Super Mega Force. But like Overdrive, yeah, I definitely need to check that out for myself to get my own opinion, of course. Just like I say, you got, if you're in the group that not too into Super Mega Force, hey, that's cool. We cool. Hey, like I say, knowing me, I probably would like it like I did Overdrive, but like I say, I'm nothing against you guys if that's not your cup of tea. Maybe you like another season better. That's all cool. I mean, because like I mentioned once in the Bumblebee review, I like the first 3 Transformer movies from Michael Bay, but I'm not too big a fan of Transformers 4 and 5, Age of Extinction and Last Night, because of Age of Extinction's story. And I just gave up with Last Night and came back for Bumblebee. So, but like I say, I do know people like, well, I like the 4 and 5 there. All power to you, buddy. Hey, that's cool, man. Hey, y'all come. Wanna come on Discord? Yeah, definitely. I would love to hear what y'all got to say about it, though. I don't know if it would change me liking it, but. I'm all ears to what you guys got to say. Hey, maybe there was something I missed out on in the movie. I'm just saying. Hey, you never know. That's the whole fun of opinions. Yeah, that's all the more thing to give us conversation. So, yeah. So yeah. No, a lot of people didn't like Super Mega Force. Cool. But. Yeah, so it's pretty similar to what they would do with Super Mega Force, but in my case, it was just them accessing the weapons and also past Zords at times. So by just simply swiping the cards, similar to that of Digimon Tamers. Yeah, more like in that style, like say, Digimodify, Digmon's Drill, activate! And Guilmon had the drills like Digmon, or Terriermon getting War Greymon's Brave Shield, or Renamon having Sneemon's Twin Sickle attack. Twin Sickle! Now it's my turn! Yeah, so... yeah, it was pretty much like that, and that's actually a pretty cool concept, but, so... Let's hear about what ideas I came up with for its episodes, and well, I guess you could say just the overall synopsis, yeah. But yeah, partly some episodes, yeah. So, Mega Cards, Power Rangers Mega Cards. So the series actually opens up with our 5 main characters that obviously are going to become the Power Rangers, playing with Power Ranger Go Fish cards. Like I said, that was one of the things that gave me the idea of this, so obviously this would be put in there. And probably wondering, Power Ranger Go Fish cards? If this is supposed to be in the Power Rangers universe, how would they have Go Fish cards in their universe? Well, okay, I didn't think about that back then, but looking back on it to tell you guys the history, you could say that, well, the Power Rangers have gotten so popular, I mean, they probably over time, people made merch off of them. Like when you watch the MCU with the Avengers and stuff. There's actually merch for the Avengers in their universe, especially in the first Avengers movie. You had kids with an Iron Man mask on. Matter of fact, in the second Iron Man movie, there was a kid with an Iron Man mask there, and then when the news of the other Avengers like Hulk and all that came out, you start seeing glimpses of their merch, and it was really evident throughout the MCU leading up to She-Hulk. Yep, She-Hulk. What had this episode of this guy where I think she got her costume from, her battle outfit, had different Avengers merch and stuff like that. And even in the DC universe, the animated Justice League series, there was merch sold for them, even costumes, because there's an episode where Flash and Wonder Woman go to this guy's mansion, and he's having a costume bar, and a lot of the people there are dressed up like the Justice League members, and even in like the New 52 DC universe, the movie Death of Superman, Wonder Woman mentions about how Wonder Woman merch is selling, and let's not forget the DCEU of Zack Snyder's. I know we're going into James Gunn universe, but in the Zack Snyder verse, in the movie Shazam, Shazam runs into a lot of merch of the previous heroes there. Yep. So, yep. This is possible that there is merch in universe. So, yeah. So of course they probably would have some Go Fish cards to play with from the previous Rangers. So anyway, our five main characters. Of course, there's myself. I didn't really think of like other names. I pretty much just used the characters' actual names. These were people that I grew up with around that time. Actually, from my old church, not Brookwood, but the church I went to. There was two churches I went to before Brookwood. The first church that I grew up in and was baptized in was New Bethlehem Baptist Church. And then when I turned 19, so yeah, 19 years I was at New Bethlehem ever since I was a little baby. So at 19, we had moved to First Baptist of Cedar Grove membership. And then it was there. Let's see, it was 29. I mean, not 20. I was 19, but it was, so that means it was 2007. And in 2019, that's when Christina and I, just the two of us, became members of Brookwood there on our own. And that's where we've been ever since, Brookwood. So yeah, that's and of course there were reasons for these changes, but it's kind of personal. This, like I say, but yeah, now we're at Brookwood. So yeah, so these were some people that I grew up with at New Bethlehem. During as a teenager and also my childhood as well. Now like I said, myself, you all know Gabriel Johnson. So yeah, I'm cool with using myself. So, I mean, what am I gonna do? Copyright myself? How dare you use Gabriel in this? You did not get my consent. But I am you. But I did. Wait, this is confusing. Okay, so I use myself, but I am going to use some different names just in case. Just in case. I'm going to say Tanya for so it's me, Tanya. Let's see, maybe for the other one, we'll say, let's see, I think something with a C, maybe I'll just say Chrissy, uh, or Christy, or Chris. Oh, maybe Alicia. Yeah, maybe Alicia. I think that would be it. Yeah, same name as one of the characters from Bubblina, but so myself, Alicia, Tanya, um, let's say Dylan and Dylan and the and give me a moment. We'll say Lynn. Oh no. That's a guy named maybe Luther, not Luthor, but Luther, like Luther Vandross. So not Luthor, Luther. So, or better yet, maybe because there's that whole enunciation thing. Enunciate. So let's say we'll just say let's see, maybe we'll just say Clint. Yeah, so not Hawkeye, but just Clint. So me, Clint, let's say oh yeah, okay, we'll just say me, Clint, Nelson, Tanya, and and Chris and Alicia. So try to keep that in mind. Alicia, Tanya, say Dylan, and okay, you know what? I'm gonna put these in my phone. That way I won't. I'm like getting like one of my uncles there. Write it down because I will not remember that. So myself, y'all got proof of me having to write this down. It's like you're so forgetful. This is Alicia and Anya, Dylan, and that's it for the other one. Let's say, oh yeah, we'll just say William. Yeah, okay, we'll just say William. All right. So, Alicia, Tanya, Dylan, and William. Okay. So, the five of us are out playing Power Ranger Go Fish cards, and suddenly a mystical dark cloud comes up. It's like, well, first the sky darkens like it's about to about to be a thunderstorm or something, but there's this one cloud that's darker than the others. That's what I actually came up with, yeah. It's like, well, wait, how would you... it can be possible that there would be a cloud darker than the others. Yeah, and it kind of would look... And I would imagine it would probably have a look kind of creepy, especially, knowing what could possibly come out of really dark clouds, the possible chances of a tornado and stuff. So, yeah, major storm comes up... let's say probably a tornado came out of it. And so the five tried to duck, as well as everybody else in the area tried to get to cover. The five are taken as they go for cover. They go to Tanya's older brother, who has a storm cellar. We'll say that her older brother is Trevor. So they go to Trevor's place. They go to Trevor's place, and he gets them into his. Turns out this is not just storm cellar, but this is actually a secret base he has underneath his house. Along, and like I said, this is Tanya's older brother. So he's actually an adult. This is the person that Tanya and Trevor are based off of. Yeah, they actually are brother sister in real life. Trevor actually was like, I know Tanya was around my age. Obviously, I was in high school, so yeah, she was close around my age, like 14 or 15 at that time. The person she based off of. and Trevor was a full grown adult in his I want to say probably like late 30s by that point there. That they had some. So I'm assuming that they had some other siblings between them. You know, 'cause, you know, you got some people with some big families there. One of my coworkers got a pretty big Jackson 5 style family. So yeah. So yeah. So what happened? Oh yeah. So let's just say he's probably, like I say, late 30s or mid 30s, something like that. So he has a couple of sons that are down there. We're gonna call them Jeffrey, or yeah, we're just gonna call him Jeff and Gerald. Yeah, same name as my alligator Gerald. So Jeff and Gerald, they sort of Jeff and Gerald, along with their dad Trevor, they have this underground base and everything, sort of like Tommy did at Dino Thunder. And in there, they inform the five that there's a great evil coming within those clouds, a dark ruler named Macintosh. I know that probably sounds kind of weird, but the reason for the name Macintosh was there was actually a school bully that I had back in the day, back when I first started high school. I do not know his real name, and I never found out his real name. Probably because I was too busy trying to get away from this guy. Because every time he saw me come into gym class, he would try to come after me to beat me up for no reason. I'm like, as Mike Epps said in one of his when he was telling his jokes and stuff. Hey, what did I do? That's what I'm wondering. What did I do? Yeah. So that's what I named the villain in here. And again, like I say, that was just something I heard people call him. I don't know. Again, I don't know what his real name was, but Macintosh. Apparently, Macintosh is this big dark ruler within the dark cloud that's hovering over amongst the storm clouds, causing trouble and stuff. Pretty much like Rita Repulsa showing up. And he says that the five of us, me, Alicia, Tanya, Dylan, and William, have to become the Mega Card Rangers. Gives us our morphers and stuff, and as well as the Ranger cards to slash for, of course, the original Ranger costumes. And with that, we're able to morph into the Mega Card Rangers. Mega Card Rangers. So, of course, since I came up with this series, I become the Mega Card King of Club Ranger. Alicia becomes the Mega Card Queen of Club Ranger. Tanya becomes the Mega Card Queen of Spades Ranger. And Dylan becomes the Blue Ace Ranger. William becomes the Blackjack Ranger. So, yep. So we got the five Mighty Morphin colors there. So yeah, that's what we become. And yeah, I did. Now I'm aware of this now, but at the time I made this, remember I mentioned I didn't even know about Super Sentai, or I know I mentioned this in one of my Royal Talk reviews on my other channel. But I don't know if I mentioned it here or not. So, but I'm saying it here now. I did not know about Super Sentai until I got into college. So yeah. So from elementary to high school, I had no idea that I thought Power Rangers was all in America. I didn't even know about Super Sentai. Yeah, like I said, until I got to college and learned about it. But so because of that, I was not aware at the time that I made Mega Cards fan series. I was not aware that there was a Power Ranger version way before Zyuranger. Zyuranger, that's what we got here in America as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the dinosaurs there. Way before that version, there was a Super Sentai of these Rangers that were based on cards and stuff, playing cards. And they had like the symbols of like spade, clovers, and like the different images you see on regular cards and stuff, regular playing cards. And they even had a Six Ranger with sort of these rainbow colors on them, and he said, "Big one." So yeah, so there was that. So yeah, they had so they morphed into their Ranger suits and went out to face the forces of the evil Macintosh, which they also fought foot soldiers, which were the Rock Soldiers. Dun, 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 dun. And of course, yeah, and like I said, this came out before I came up with this before Kroger Force. There was like I would say like a year or two between me coming up with these two. So when I got to Kroger Force, I didn't think of a different foot soldier, so I just used the Rock Soldiers like I did in Mega Cards. Yeah, so yeah, these, and also there's a few villains from Kroger Force that were not all the villains, but a couple of villains appeared here in Mega Card that were also used in Kroger Force. One of them being Sidara and his brother, and the other one was his brother Kodran. And I think also another one called Tradus there. So, yeah, there was a few familiar faces that would get recycled in Kroger Force. So Sidara led the Rock Soldiers against the Rangers in their morph state and everything. And of course, they called for their. I think they did. Yeah, they did have some original weapons. I want to say, I'm trying to think. Okay, their original weapons. Kind of hard to say. Like I say, I remember more with Kroger Force than I do with the Mega Cards. There, I'm just saying. As well as what came after Kroger Force a little bit. I would say Red Ranger probably had a sword, obviously. Yellow Ranger had like I want to say some daggers there, and pink. Ooh, excuse me. I'm about to start sounding like Mighty Morphin a little bit. Black Ranger had like a staff that he fought with there. Blue Ranger had an axe. And everything. And Pink Ranger had like it wasn't a wind cannon, but it was just like a blaster, some kind of like that. I do. That's the best that I remember. But they used these against the foot soldiers and everything, and then Sidara showed up, and and they combined and they combined their weapons, of course, much like the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger combined their weapons to the Power Blaster and all that. Let's see, sword, an axe, a staff, a blaster, probably. Yeah, I guess that is kind of it's possible since, like I said, Yellow Ranger did have daggers, so yeah, sort of like pretty much like a big blade blaster kind of there. They let's see, I would say maybe put like the axe on the blaster, then the sword on the axe on the blaster, then the staff, and then the daggers on the sides of the blaster, and then the sword itself, and make like a big old blade blaster kind of thing to destroy Sidara. But then, of course, Kodran appears, big giant sea serpent, and that's where the Mega Card Rangers had to call for their original Zords. The Zords, of course, was for the Black Ranger, you had I know the Red Ranger had the Red Bull Ranger. No, it's not an affiliation with the energy drink. Yeah, just like I don't even think I knew about Red Bull back then. So, yeah, the Red Bull Ranger. I want to say the Yellow Ranger had a horse sword. The Yellow horse sword. Pink Ranger had a Wildcat. Blue Ranger had a blue tiger, and the Black Ranger had a black wolf. So yeah, you had a bull, a wolf, a tiger, a horse, and a Wildcat. Yeah, so the five Zords came out. The combination was, of course, the horse and I want to say the horse and the wolf. I think became like the legs, and the tiger and the Wildcat became the arms, all attached to the bull as both the body and head of the Megazord, of course. And they defeated Kodran. So, yeah, Kodran was then defeated. After this, the Rangers then learned about how they could access. Well, I take that back. I don't think Tratus was used in this. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so it was basically just Sidar and Kodran that were used here, and like the Rock Soldiers, they were recycled for the beginning of Kroger Force. Yeah, so so then the Rangers learned about how to access the powers of previous Rangers by swiping cards to access, like their weapons and abilities. Like say, the deck they each get a deck of these Ranger cards, or should I say power cards. Oh, and by the way, the morphing code was I think let's see oh yeah, Mega Card Ranger Slash, ha, and they would swipe their Ranger card and bam, Ranger mode. So they could also do the same thing with their deck of cards. Say each one of them according to their color. For instance, me being the Red Ranger, say I could access like the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger's Power Sword, or maybe the Red Space Ranger's Astro Drill, something like that, and so on and maybe like the Black Ranger could access the say something like the. Well, I guess I guess you could say he could like the power axe that the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger had. And I know after that they replaced the Black with the Green Ranger and Zeo and Turbo, stuff like that. But he probably could still access even their weapons, since in those seasons they was in sort of the Green Ranger was in the slot place of the Black Ranger. And then, of course, we did get a Black Ranger Space and Wild Force. So yeah, he could act. Yeah, sort of an exception to that. Say, for instance, the Pink Ranger could access the Space Pink Ranger's drill, or maybe all of them could access the Galaxy Sabers from Lost Galaxy, something like that. So they kind of learn how to use these powers against some other, a few other enemies that Macintosh sends. They also learn how to access past Zords, and even like the whole Megazord order. Like they can access the Zeo Megazord or the Turbo Megazord or something like that. However, there's an episode where Tanya is like, well, we got access to all these cards. Why don't we just access, all like the weapons and Zords at once and just blow the bad guys away, all at once, like a big army, like a big army of Zords and stuff. And one thing Trevor warns Tanya about is that this could this could cause an overload in the morphing grid. Now, of course, I didn't really know about it as the morphing grid per se. I may have heard them mention about that, but I know like in later seasons they mentioned. I think it was mentioned in early seasons, but I think the morphing grid had more emphasis on it in later seasons about accessing it and stuff. So, but yeah, he mentioned that this would damage like the morphing grid and stuff like that, or overload it. Sort of like what Zordon said about too much pink energy is dangerous. or in Dino Thunder when they cloned the white Dino Thunder Ranger, two of the same type of Ranger can't exist. One will eventually have to disappear. Yeah, so yeah, something like that. Tanya doesn't listen to this, and she tries to access it herself, but but before she can, some kind of way, one of the new monsters featured in that episode manages to get a hold of those cards where she tries to use them all, sort of like Chaz and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX when he had all the shadow keys trying to get Alexis's heart. That was probably, I'm sorry I have to say it, but that was probably the stupidest thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I still like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. But I just gotta say, that was the stupidest idea in an episode, even for Chaz. Yeah, I'm just saying. I know love make you do some crazy things, but come on now. Yeah, after what they went through with the Shadow Riders and stuff, really, Chaz? Yeah, it sounded, let's just say the video game was a lot better, Yu-Gi-Oh! Spirit Caller, with how that happened. So anyway, much like Chaz with the Shadow Keys getting taken from him by of course the leader of the Shadow Riders, well, the Zord cards get taken from Tanya, and next thing you know, the Rangers find themselves having to face different Megazords going on a rampage there, with their own original Megazord to try to stop them. I'm not completely sure how, but eventually they do manage to get control of the other Zords as well as the cards back and defeat the monster that took them. So, and Tanya realizes then, that I kind of messed up there. So, yeah, which really does, and it takes, and of course they have to make repairs to the morphing grid like an overdrive from due to the overload. So, I think maybe the overload is what eventually causes them to, maybe like the Zords to commit. I think the thief, the monster that took the cards, probably loses control of the different Megazords all rampaging because of the morphing grid overload, like a security feature in there, and then they're able to get the cards back from the monster, and Tanya sees there of how dangerous it is to try to use a whole bunch of these powers at once there. Like, yeah, sort of like overload, sort of like what Richie said in Static Shock when he, how he was able to help defeat Brainiac in part 1 of the Justice League's cameo. Like, Gear, this is no time to download music. Oh, yes it is. Downloading this song 1,000,000 times. Brainiac's gonna crash. Just like my computer at home does when I try to do too many things at once. No, I cannot be beaten. I did not be beaten. One day I will come back, and I will lay the funk down. F-U-N-K. Just have to make sure. F-U-N-K. Funk. Not. Yeah, we're keeping it clean here. And Daffy Duck say, I really don't like Robot Chicken, but I have seen a few things of it. As Daffy Duck said in a Robot Chicken parody, "Keep it clean, Elma. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it clean." Had to wet my whistle a little bit. So they get all the cards back. Everything's back to normal for the moment. Fighting monster of the day, stuff like that. Then eventually Macintosh gets the idea to create what's known as the Cyber Rangers, digital clones of the Mega Card Rangers. Pretty much like the style of, say, Digimon, data manifest into reality. I would say also more closer, since this is the Power Ranger universe, almost like, I didn't know about this, but I didn't think about it at the time that I came up with this. But this is actually kind of similar to the Psycho Rangers idea in space, because, they were because they had that whole digital aspect going on, and which made sense because Power Rangers Space, the Sentai was actually they did have some space based stuff, but in the Sentai it was actually Mega Ranger, and it was more virtual reality and in cyberspace and stuff. But yeah, they did have some space based stuff in it, so that was one reason why we got Power Rangers Space in America, and we had to get a lot of green screens and all that to really get the space theme going there, turn a virtual reality into a space theme there. Also, they thought it was the last season and wanted to go all out. So, but hey, space theme saved the day, saved the franchise actually. So, yeah, the Cyber Rangers, clones of the original Mega Card Rangers. They end up fighting with them, and the Cyber Rangers actually have an ability where they cut off the original Mega Card Ranger. Their ability to use their cards to access other Ranger like weapons and abilities. So they pretty much have to fight the Cyber Rangers with their original powers and weapons there. During this happening, we get a visit from Trevor's third son. So yeah, we have his two of his sons, Jeff and Gerald, already in this. But we get a visit from his third son. We're going to call him Jacob. So Jacob comes to visit. He's the youngest of Trevor's sons. Turns out Trevor and his wife are actually divorced. So while Trevor have Jeff and Gerald, he has custody over them. The mother was given custody over Jacob. So Jacob comes to visit Trevor them, and turns out Jacob and Trevor they don't hate each other, but there's a kind of a bit of a little tension between the two. They're not. I would say sort of like, remember any of y'all seen Tim Allen's Santa Claus? How his son Charlie in the very first movie, Charlie was like, "Do I have to stay here?" Like when he came over to visit his dad, Tim Allen's character Scott Calvin, Charlie was not. He didn't hate his dad, but he just wasn't too fond of him until after him becoming Santa Claus, of course, and the whole adventure at the North Pole. So, yeah, so they do try to bond a little bit, try to get along with each other. With the Rangers, of course, they're not doing so well with against the Cyber Rangers and getting hurt really badly. If it even turns out the Cyber Rangers are even able to have their own digital copies of the Rangers' original Zords. Yeah, the Cyber Card Megazord, and it really thrashes the Mega Card, the original Megazord there. So the Rangers end up having to retreat. The Cyber Rangers are gloating in their victory, of course, and it turns out that during this time before the Cyber Rangers had appeared, or even Jacob had arrived, Trevor had been working on a morpher for a 6th Ranger, but he didn't know. His original intention for the 6th morpher was for either Jeff or Gerald to join them in the battle. However, during all the carnage and stuff, Jacob finds out about this morpher somehow, and during a rematch, because Rangers aren't going to give up. Retreating is one thing, but that doesn't mean they're going to completely give up. Like, why y'all hiding, Mega Card Rangers? Come out and face us! And also, to top it off, there is a monster that's being prepared to lure the Rangers out against the Cyber Rangers once again. which is a clock tower monster. Yeah, clock tower. Hey, is it any weirder than anything else that's been in the Rangers franchise? Cause trust me, I've seen some very unusual monsters in Power Rangers, and you gotta admit that really does that's one thing you really gotta the creativity of these monsters there. They even despite how weird they may look, I mean, really gives the show its own charm. So the franchise, yeah. So it's a clock tower monster that manages to force the Rangers back out to the battlefield, playing around with the hands of time. Back out just so the Cyber Rangers can thrash them again. Trevor is in kind of a panic, and him, Jeff, and Gerald are trying to figure out what to do. The panic kind of causes them not to think straight. Otherwise, they would have instantly went for this for the Morpher, the sixth Ranger. Jacob manages to spot it, and in all the chaos and carnage, just takes the Morph for himself and joins the other 5 on the battlefield, becoming the Silver King of Spade Ranger. Yep. So with his powers, he's able to really hand it to the Cyber Rangers, giving the other Rangers the edge against them, as well as even going toe to toe with the Clock Tower monster. So with that, the Cyber Rangers are actually defeated. The Rangers are actually now able to defeat the Cyber Rangers thanks to the Silver Rangers' intervention. And all that's left now is the Clock Tower monster. The Silver Ranger manages to damage the Clock Tower monster's ability to mess with the hands of time. But of course, Macintosh makes the Clock Tower monster grow. My abilities of time may be lost, but I can still destroy you. Sadly, even though the Cyber Rangers are defeated, the Mega Card Zords are kind of badly damaged and need more time to repair. So Jacob, as the Silver Ranger, is able to call for his Silver Elephant Zord. The Silver Elephant Zord comes out, is able to transform to Megazord mode, much so like the White Tiger Zord does. White Tiger Zord, battle ready now. White Ranger Tiger power, White Ranger Tiger. Or I guess in this case, let's see, White Tiger, Silver Elephant Ranger power, Silver Elephant Ranger. Doesn't quite sound. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound quite as good as White Tiger's one, but I had to do it. Anyway, so the Silver Elephant manages to destroy the Clock Tower monster. And always like the fall down and explosion there. So sort of almost makes me think that that the creators of SpongeBob might be Power Ranger fans. I mean, think about it. Have you ever now, of course, this may be they just like to torture Squidward, but notice a lot of time when Squidward falls off of something in an episode, he explodes for some reason. And then they did do it with with other random characters at times, like the one episode where about the seahorse, when he's like, "Hey, Mr. Krabs put in a new ride. I can't find the coin slot. Here it is." Ah! Boom! Kitty ride on the loose. so sorry, I had to mention a little SpongeBob there, but anyway, back to Mega Cards. We now return to Power Rangers Mega Cards. So yeah, the Clock Tower monster's defeated. Then, of course, I'm not sure what monster came after that, but I do know just like just like in all Power Ranger lore, the Sixth Ranger Zord will be able to combine with the other Megacard Zords once they're healed up. In the following fight, they're able to combine with the Silver Elephant Megazord to make the Super Megazord, so, something like that. But yeah, they're combined with the Silver Elephant, and yep, and then of course that was pretty. Well, that was all she wrote. That was pretty much, yeah. But seriously, that was all I thought about with Mega Card. Yeah, up to the a bit to the Sixth Ranger. Obviously, yeah, he's a new part of the team. Patch things up with Daddy and everything, and yeah, six Rangers fought against the evil Macintosh there now, and of course, eventually would defeat him, and the whole finale, like at the end of, especially after the big countdown to destruction of space, the big finales of all the seasons that were to come. Yeah, we get one with Mega Cards, of course. But yeah, that was pretty much all I thought about up to the entrance of the Sixth Ranger. There were some. I did actually try to remake Mega Cards one time into. Again, I didn't know about the Sentai, but I called myself trying to make it like. Not sure what you would call it, but they in the remake of Mega Card that I actually tried, but still before Kroger Force, was you had the one difference in it. You had myself, of course. I think it was. I think this time it was myself, Tanya, Dylan, and William. But instead of having Alicia in it, there was a new person in the place of it, which we're just gonna say that her name is Megan. Of course, that's not her original name, but that's what we're using to protect the identity. Now, who she was based on was actually this was sort of like how they had in Turbo, how they had Justin join the Rangers, so he was the kid amongst the teenagers. So yeah, Megan was a young Ranger like Justin, about 10 years old, and she was a princess from another world. And the other four of us, we got attacked by a monster from this other world. But of course, the Princess Megan shows up, granting them powers to the four of them to be Mega Card Rangers, red, yellow, blue, and black. First, they defeat the monster, and then they have to travel to her world to have an explanation behind these powers, as well as also that it's going to be up to them to save her world. Now, only thing is, this is not they don't access the powers of other Rangers like in the original concept. It's just basically more of a mystical thing going on. And of course, the princess becomes the Pink Ranger, the youngest Pink Ranger in history, a 10-year-old with teenagers. So, yeah. So there was that. That was just pretty much all I thought of with that. But that, not really much with the remake, but it existed. So that's pretty much all I got to say on this history of Mega Cards. So there will be others. I do have a few other fan Ranger series that need to be discussed. Need to be mentioned here. So until then, as well as also other videos, and oh yeah, definitely, and don't worry, I'm still gonna read the chapter 8 through 10 of Yumiko. I'm still gonna do the final audio reading for novel 1. So it's coming. Gotta be patient. It's coming. So until then, like, share, subscribe. Super thanks. Buy some available books, including our available comic books like Star Trek and Bubblina, and also Yumiko, especially the first novel. And also, definitely support us on that Patreon, just like your boy EJ Supreme. And definitely check out his channel along with Casey's channel. And also shout outs to Miss Phyllis, Madea, Keon Smith with Buffalo Wings and Chicken Tenders, and King's Arthur Williams of Turkey Legs and Wings. So, yep, all of that. And also don't forget to hit us up on Discord, just to chat and hang out. And also get yourself signed up on that Marcari app to see what your boy Gabe is selling, and also sell some of your things that maybe you might want to get rid of and stuff. So, yep. Until then, we'll see y'all in the next video, unless it's an audio reading. I guess in the audio reading we will hear you in the next video. But until then, y'all take care, everybody. Make a call.